All right, well, it's up to you. That's something my pastor taught me a long time ago. The closer you get to the fire, the warmer you get. So anytime I go into a training, I always sit up front. And leadership always, the cream always rises. So it's a good practice when you're in the learning environment. I was just at a training all week out in Chicago for after treatment, which is the DEF, and electrical testing, electrical 1, electrical 2, and Texas. Some of the stuff I'll go into as we get through this. Kevin, well, first off, I'm not going straight into the presentation. We're going to give him a couple of minutes, but I'm not going to short y'all for other people's stuff. Kevin, you own a truck, and you got a driver in it already, and you got another truck you got sitting.
No, I'm running that.
Okay. You got your own authority?
No.
All right. What you doing with it?
So basically, I just got my truck signed on to a company.
Which company?
Big Boy Transportation.
Oh, you down there?
Yeah.
Help me out, Christina, would you? That's Christina. She been to every single one. She was coming down, catching the bus in the beginning. That show real dedication. Not trying to put you out there. What I'm saying is that shows a lot about character. Like even, I just drove back from Chicago last night. I haven't even been home. I slept at the truck stop in my car across the street. Went in there, washed up, shaved, came over here with y'all. I've been sleeping in my car all week in Chicago because I wanted to train it, but I also wanted to come here and help y'all. So sacrifice. Somebody told me one time, life is like a bank account. You can only withdraw what you deposit. So you only get out of life what you put into it. And sacrifices is what's going to determine how far you go. But you down big boys. When you say you leasing the truck, are you leasing one of their trucks? Because they will do that as well.
Yeah, no, I'm not actually leasing the truck from them. I'm just renting one.
Right. I mean, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
Right. So what you need to do is, one, are you familiar with the authority?
Yeah.
Okay, you know you need to get your MC, your DOT number, and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's a difference in the pay rate from having your own authority from being an owner operator.
Yes.
Right, so they telling you that, not no knock against them. I work for them. I know them guys down there, they cool. Nobody's showing y'all the real rates. They telling y'all they paying y'all 75%, 70% of the load. But how you know what the load pay? And loads, rates fluctuate up and down. So in order for you to see the real rates, you're gonna have to get your authority, and that's what's gonna get you in the 5,000, 7,000, possibly more. I used to be a fan of running real hard, but there's some things I learned about that, and it's something I take something from my buddy Joe. He told me about phantom money. So the harder you run, the more wear and tear you put on your truck, which increases your maintenance, which we're gonna get into later on. So you think you running and you making more money. You may make the 9,000, 11,000. I'd have made as much as 14,000 in a week. However, you start having more maintenance. And if you don't know your maintenance intervals, which you can look up in your service manuals, you can find them online, look up your VIN, year, make, and model, it'll tell you. And also you need to talk to mechanics that are trusted. I've been doing mechanics lately, and I can tell you a lot of people are getting ripped off. Not all mechanics are bad, not all cops are bad. What I'm talking about is, y'all new, so y'all probably don't know when I talk about the transferable information or the translatable skills. So the same way all cops not bad, there are some bad cops. There are some bad mechanics that'll rip you off and charge you $300, $400, $500, $1,000, $1,500, and all it was a fuse. And you wondering why your truck couldn't start it. You've been trying to jump it on your own for a week, or it was a loose wire or something. I got for $4,700 one time out in Oregon. They sold me a brand new ECM. They said they didn't have no used ones, and I spent like $2,700, $2,800 on the side of the road. And once we got through all that, the only problem was there's a little wire on the battery. You jiggle it, and jump come right back on. So I spent all that money for nothing. That's why I'm focusing on learning this stuff, so I could teach y'all, so y'all don't be taken advantage of, and myself as well. And while rates are down right now, this the best time. You been to jail before? Right. So what they say, do the time, don't let the time do you. Right. So now while things are slow, this is the time to focus on other skills while that available free time is there. Like how long you normally stay inside the port?
Um,
What's the
it's up and down.
What's the longest you've been in the port?
5 hours, 6 hours, maybe.
Right. I can tell I read half the Bible in the port. I mean, literally, I read the whole Bible cover to cover 3 times. Not trying to push Christianity on y'all, but what I'm saying is the amount of free time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go up the ASE, that's where people become master mechanics. They have booklets that you can buy and read them so you can start learning more about your truck. Or you can go up to the diesel mechanic school, look at the textbooks they got and buy them and start reading them so you can understand how your truck works. Because it's more to it than just driving. It's one technique you can use that'll save you 50% on your maintenance, and that's greasing your truck. Most of the time you go and get a PM, they supposed to change your oil, change your filters, and grease your truck on a basic level. On the ultimate, they supposed to check your transmission fluid and your differential fluid. They never do it. Or there's grease fittings on your truck. Every truck got different, and they may not be familiar with your truck and don't do it, and then you got premature failure. So, so you need to learn how to grease your own truck. You can get a grease gun for under $100. A tube of grease is what, $8? You get 2 of them. Grease your truck. You should be doing that every 2 weeks. Wintertime coming, it's gonna be getting cold. More trucks gonna break down in the wintertime. Jump. Last time I paid for a jump on the road car was like $350. You can get a jump box for like $1,000, a high power one. So you're gonna want to get one of them. You got extendable airlines for your truck where you can add your own tires up. How you check your tires? Check your tires in the morning.
You
kick them.
I just kick them.
If you check them.
On my truck that I own, I put the gauge on.
Put the gauge on there every morning, especially right now. See how warm it is right now? See, I'm sweating a little bit. It was cold as hell last night. Your time, I'd be real with y'all, because you can't learn nothing faking it, and there's a lot of that going on out here. That's why people hosting seminars and charging y'all, because what they figure is if I can get 300-400 people to give me $3,000 over the course of the year, that's $1 million. So when you start getting into training seminars, you need to be backtracking people's history so you can learn exactly who they are, because a lot of people is putting on the show for y'all and selling y'all information. I've been in the information industry for about 15 years. I done did so many programs and spent tens of thousands of dollars on my education and my personal development, and I can tell you it's the same thing. It's an upsell. What they do is they lure you in by showing you this amazing lifestyle. It's in the streets, we call it selling the dream. Anybody heard that before? Mm-hmm. Right, they sell you the dream. If you do what I'm doing, you can live how I'm living. The catch is, you pay me, then I'll show you. And it's level, so you pay them however many $1,000, they only gonna give you a certain amount of information. Then they're gonna sell you the higher levels, the upsell. I remember my first, I was just getting out the joint. My first seminar I went to, Armando Montalon, was a real estate seminar. I paid like $1,600 for that joint. Maxed out my credit cards. Remember, I'm just getting out the joint. We get there, they tell us all this surface information, and then it's like, well, we got the mentoring for X amount of thousand a year, and if you're really, really serious, we got a $30,000 cruise where all the big boys is going to be there, and you can rub shoulders with the big boy. And the appeal was your network is your net worth, so you become who you hang around. And it's a scheme. That's life. So you need to be aware of that, and a lot of this information you can get for free. I really don't even have to come here to see me. I do it in person because, one, I told you at the beginning of the year I wasn't going to be doing that online stuff like that. I did it for 5 years. I done lured as many people in as I could and show y'all the real rates. That's why, remember I was saying they don't show y'all the real rates? That's why I was showing y'all the load board every single morning, so y'all can see for yourself. And what they say in court, the true bill and testament. And they used to say that in the junk, true bill. Remember that? Now you probably don't say it no more, but I show y'all what I'm doing, what I'm getting paid. I show y'all what is getting me, whether I get to travel and have fun and do all that stuff, which I shouldn't have to show people. But in order to get the young men in, just telling them to come and do something positive is not enough. You gotta lure them in, and you gotta have some type of excitement in it. But you need to save up all your money and get your authority started, and get you a trailer and preferably a flatbed. Don't get no dry van, and stay away from box trucks. Tell people over and over again, oh, I'm gonna just get a box truck until I can step up. Why would you do that? First off, it's gonna cost you around the same amount of money. Second off, in a few months, you're gonna be crying about it's not enough freight, or it's not paying enough. And even if you are fortunate enough to get some box truck stuff going on where it's paying you more, it's uncomfortable, it's bad on your body because there's no bed in there, and you're gonna be working twice as hard to make the same amount of money. So it's not even worth it. Don't activate your authority unless you got a trailer. If you're doing power only, you're gonna be fighting against everybody else. Power only is like a secret society. All those brokers deal with each other. If you get on the load board, you'll see a dozen power only loads. Then you switch to dry van, you see 3,000 of them. So it's a big difference. Also, dry vans is like the lowest, well, containers, but as far as independent dry vans, you want to get a flatbed. A lot of people don't want to get dirty, and that's costing them thousands of dollars. So, and that's why a lot of people don't learn this stuff. They don't want to get dirty, and they rather pay somebody and get taken advantage of instead of buckling down and learning what they gotta learn. But you need to get a grease gun, and I got a shop on 68th Street. You know what that's at?
Yeah.
Right behind the new Wawa, behind the train tracks. You come down there, get your grease gun on Saturday or Sunday. I'll be in there. You'll see a big, long mobile home.
Okay.
It's yellow and green. You see my car there. I'm in there. Bring your truck down there. Also, I gotta give y'all my number. I ain't giving my number out to everybody no more. People calling me for stuff that I got in the books, and which is fine. But as life go on, you progress. Any of y'all still got the iPhone 1? Right. Y'all got the newest updated version, so you should be progressing in life. And I did that, and people used to ask me why am I doing this, but that was part of my debt to society for all the fucked up shit I did, and that was my way of reversing my karma. And I believe I can help more people. At this point, I did more good in my life than bad, so I don't have that weight over my shoulders no more. You know, they say when they get out, when they finish parole, I paid my debt to society. Can't even get a job. Well, I paid my debt to society, and all this information is out there for free. It's up to people to read it, use it. I left trails. I showed y'all my day-to-day life. So anything somebody want to mimic, all you got to do is walk back it. It's like when you walking in the woods for the first time. You got the hacksaw, you cutting down the weeds and shit. But the people walking behind you got a trail. So I left a trail for y'all, so it'd be easier for y'all to navigate. But you gonna need, right now is the best time to buy a truck. Trucks, people losing trucks left and right now. The real reason why people losing trucks is not because of freight. It's a lie. Rates have not gone down. They returned to normal. And what happened is everybody saw all these truck kings and queens living the life, and they ran out and got trucks. When the country shut down, truckers was essential workers. We was able to run with no logbook. Then when the country opened, everybody rushed outside. So when people rush outside, they buying stuff. They buying clothes, food, cars. We live in America. America is a capitalistic society that's buying and selling. Anything can get into this country by plane or a boat. Anything can get across the country by a plane or a train, but in order to get to the end consumer, it has to get on the truck. So we was jamming. I mean, I showed y'all. I mean, I was having $50,000, $60,000 months, solo, with no team drivers. Them days is gone. People got in it and thought that was how life was going to be forever, and everything going to cycle, summer, spring, winter, fall. So we on the back end, so every head's got a tails, and it's equalizing. When I first started, my first book was How to Make $250,000 a Year with a Criminal Record and No College Degree. That's what we went back to. I updated that book for the current market to how to travel for free and make $400,000 to $500,000. because that's what was happening at the time. That's not what's happening right now. So all the people that got in when it was high, they was jamming, making all this money. And what happened? What people do when they start making money? Upgrade. Who made the Jay-Z song? Upgrade, Beyonce?
Mm-hmm.
Upgrade. Went and got the house, if they was smart. Went and got the car or two. My last 3 set of cars, I've been buying matching cars. The sedan and the coupe. Every time. People start getting fresh, taking trips, eating out, buying jewelry, and now shit went to normal and they can't have it because the cost of living is up here and they based that off of income that was here, which was inflated due to what was going on, and now we back to reality and people stuck with this. They stuck with a 30-year, they stuck with a 7-year car note and all this other shit, or they went out and started making money and started thinking they was cute. Nothing to y'all, but when men start making money, the women come. So now you entertain that baby. Now you was the king where you was getting it. Now you ain't making no money. You a piece of shit because you trying to stay in there. And here go child support. So that's what's happening. It ain't trucking is so bad. What it is shit went back to normal and people upgraded their life up here. It's a book out there called Life in There. It's a blue book. You can find it on Amazon, and it talks about 2 different individuals. One guy had a construction company. Big old mansion, all the toys, the big dually truck, snowmobiles, all this. He started suffering because he was working so hard to keep all the shit. He was away from home. His kids started acting up, started having issues with his family, wife, because he's never there. Relationships take time. And there was another guy, had a modest house, nice, neat, paid off, a coffee shop, quintessential, paid off. Spent his free time teaching the kids in the neighborhood how to fix trucks, giving stuff at his church. And all around good guy, had free time and traveling the world. And this is because he had a low cost of living. So I'm telling y'all from personal experience, I know what it's like to have $10,000 to $12,000 in bills a month. I'm telling you, you paying down there $4,000 just because you want the view. And you doing this at different cities just because you the man at the time. That shit ain't happening right now. So I had to adjust. I had to tighten up and look at what's coming in and what's going out. You're on the operator, so have you had a full year yet?
Yeah.
So that truck should have grossed as an owner operator at least 125, 150. That's about 2,500, 3,000 a week. Cause that supply your truck of yours down. With your authority, if you really living out there like I was, not coming home for months at a time, you in that 4 to 5. It's harder right now, but you should be somewhere between like 250 and 375. Gross. Now, what's going to stay in your pocket is going to be determined by how you handle your truck. So y'all need to get up on y'all maintenance and learn some of this stuff. How many of y'all got tools in y'all truck? What kind of tools you got? You got your basic hand tools. You got power tools?
I got drills and stuff.
You gonna need that.
Yeah.
You got a diagnostics computer?
Nah, I don't have that.
This gonna run you like 11,000. But it's gonna do shit that the dealer can't nobody do but the dealer. And trust me, you get in there, they talking about the game, but you logged in. I just did injectors, in Boston? Cat in Boston charged me $210 an hour. So I had the truck in there for the whole day. So if I had had my own computer, well, actually this is my son's computer. I was trying to push his career. But since I'm doing this, I'm using it. I would have already been able to do the diagnostics and get in the readout and tell them, look, this is exactly what's going on. Let me buy the parts, I'll get somebody to put it in, then I can program it myself. Dealer gonna have you sitting in there damn near a week.
Mm-hmm.
I got a question, right?
Yeah.
That computer does it update or is it like, it doesn't update, it's like stuck in a certain, you know what I mean?
Well, all right. So this is Texas.
Okay.
Texas, you don't need an update, a yearly update. But what happens is you stuck at so it's 2023. You buy it right now, you can do 2023 and back everything. But most people not buying brand new trucks. I wouldn't suggest it anyway. Brand new truck like 200, 250 now. When I started, trucks was like 90, 100, top of the line. Why would you, if you got that kind of money, you gonna be paying? I did that before. When I was breaking down the port, first off, let me backtrack as people starting to fill in. When I first started, I was working at the port. I did that for about 5-6 years, and trust me, bro. You don't get your computer. They got lower levels of these. There's one that's called a jaw test that requires an update every year, or if you get it from the manufacturer, you're gonna have to get it like Cummins, Detroit. You're gonna have to update it every year. Man, what you doing? She doing that. She tripping. Took my distraction for a minute. But some of them do need updates. But I got this Texas, so it don't require updates. Most people not gonna buy brand new trucks. It's a waste of money, and the newer trucks is junk. Why would you spend $250 when for all that you can buy 10 trucks, which I don't suggest either. That old dream of get started in the fleet, that shit dead. You see anybody running around with dookie ropes on? With the drop top BMW, turtle top, that shit dead. Ain't no more Nino Browns being made no more. Ain't no more Rich Porters. If you chasing that street dream, you a fool. Transferable information, translatable skills. What I was talking about earlier, if you chasing that, I'm gonna get a truck, run, start a fleet, that shit dead. The information out there, everybody knows how to do it. Your biggest problem going to be drivers. You're going to have a high turnover. You might get 1 or 2 good drivers. Then you got 7, 8 trucks, 12 trucks. Half of them sitting. You got $2,000-$3,000 insurance every month. Your idea was, I'm going to go get a truck, put some drivers in there. That's going to be the money I'm going to live off, and then I'm going to drive, and then that's going to be my pocket money. No, you're going to get in a cycle where you working for them to have a job. They're going to be tearing your truck up, and then you're going to be paying money to fix it. And then it's going to be a while before it all start catching up. And then you look, hey, damn, I made $1.5 million. Where it go at? Then you need to start looking at your maintenance. That's why you need to start getting into this stuff. That's why I'm learning this stuff now. But back to what I was saying, with the newer trucks. You think getting newer trucks, it's going to save you money. It's not. I was working down the port. Everybody had drivers with these old beat up trucks in them. I said, you know what? I'm going to separate myself. I'm going to go get fresh trucks. Pay them top dollar, give everybody iPhones. I had drivers making $2,000-$3,000 a week, company drivers. They still drive them like they bullshit trucks. They tie them up, park them in the yard, act like they don't know what happened when you come in the morning. And the newer trucks have more sensors, so they have more issues. How many of y'all drive trucks with DEF in it? That shit caused a whole lot of fucking problems, don't it?
Yeah.
That's why I just went to Chicago to learn that shit, because it's a lot of money in fixing it.
Right.
Because they are not planning, they talking about getting rid of it. That's talk. What they implementing is adding more restrictions. So it's going to get deeper. You see politicians, they come around to all the non-profits and all, shake hands and talk, and then they get in office and they implement different shit.
Mm-hmm.
They talked about getting rid of it. They implementing, adding more restrictions, and they coming up with more and more technology where they can test to see if you deleted it. Mm-hmm. And depending on who you dealing with and what state you in, that shit can go up to $100,000 by the time all the fines and shit is in there. And then they'll hold your truck hostage and force you to bring it back to OEM spec. And most people ain't got that kind of money, especially not at no shop. And a lot of shops got people don't even really understand the system. They guessing. I had a truck put fuel in the DEF. So we swapped the injectors, changed the tank. That ain't do it. Took it to the dealer, and that shit was $17,000. By the time they finished doing the one box and the EDR cooler and all this shit. So I personally recommend staying away from newer trucks as long as we can. Anything '07 and older, because those are mechanical trucks. The newer electrical trucks got a bunch of sensors in there, and it could be something as much as a wire corroded on the inside. You can't even see it, and they keep changing sensors and doing all this shit, guessing, swapping parts, and while they guessing, it's costing you thousands of dollars. So that's what I suggest. If you got an unlimited budget and you can get a brand new truck, buy a glider kit and buy a 1999 or older reman engine from the manufacturer with the warranty. Because 1999 or older, you don't need a logbook. So 2000 and older is no DEF. So that's a safe spot depending on what you're trying to do. And you can get an older truck and paint it. It'd be looking just as fresh as any other one. You get somebody to polish the aluminum or do whatever you're going to do with it. Also, keep your trucks clean because that's going to stop DOT from being on your ass. I know a lot of y'all don't even stop at the scales. I did it. That shit just cost me too. I just lost my license. Just got it back probably a couple weeks ago. Out in Oregon. Running over hours. They put me out of service. I felt it was unjust. I'm not the law though. That's a nigga mind state though, right? Left. And they traced that shit all the way back to Maryland and communicated with Maryland. States got something called reciprocity. So they all communicate with each other. So you think you're getting away from that shit? No, sir. That's why you get a ticket out there and you're not home to get it in the mail and don't pay it. They suspend your license until you pay it. Then it'll go back active. So be careful with that. The main thing is somebody was just telling me about trafficking and all this stuff, these traps they setting up. And what's up, man? What I told him was, I ain't doing nothing, so I ain't got nothing to worry about. The thing to do is, what's happening? The thing to do is stay on top of your maintenance and learn it so you know your truck is good. So you ain't got to worry about running the scales. Also, if you stay within the 150 air mile radius, you don't need a logbook anyway. So long as your truck is good, you all right. And the more inspections you pass, the less they put you in. Because as you driving, it's a radar. And they running your DOT number. And they can see what your safety score is. Also, when you get pulled over and they give you warnings, that's bullshit. They know what they're doing. Every single entry goes on. We got 3 different reporting agencies. We got the motor vehicle, we got the CSA 2010 and your DAC report. And Safer keeps a record of every time you get pulled over. So even though it's a warning, that goes against your safety score. So nobody in here got the authority, right?
I got mine.
Right. So have you ever tried to book a load with a broker and they say your safety score is too high, or you haven't had an inspection?
Yeah, inspection.
Right. So then they won't want to book with you, and that messes you up. Also, it raises your insurance. The highest I paid for insurance was $3,500 a month, with a $15,000 down payment. Starting off, you should be somewhere between $3,000 to $5,000 on the down payment, and you should be paying. My first one was $1,700 a month. So you should be paying like $2,000 a month. But that's having your authority is going to add $10,000 onto your income as opposed to being the owner operator. And you have the freedom to work as hard as you want to, pending the consequences, because you're reliable, responsible for your actions. But companies got to divvy up work between all their owner operators and their personal drivers. So who you think is their priority? When you got your own authority, you scouring all the loads trying to pick the best for you. They don't care about you. A lot of them, you sign up and that feeds you real good to get your feet wet. And then they cut back. And then you always like we ain't in the crack eye right now, but I remember crackheads, they used to talk about chasing that first high. Then you keep trying to chase them first couple checks you got that was actually about $1,000 and wondering why they ain't coming in no more. Because they got to divvy that shit up between all these people. When you got your own authority, you booking for yourself.
Is it worth it to get your own authority, like if you stand local or regional, or it's not really worth the investment?
That depends. Because a lot of people say that, and I used to talk to thousands of people call me with their problems. A lot of people say that because they got family stuff and they gotta be home, or they prefer to be home, or just to keep it a buck. A lot of people be scared to leave their girl. I know somebody left their job because of that, working nights, thinking it's fucking stupid. You can't trust a leader. What's wrong with you? You need to be taking it easy. You as good as you say you is. But the point is, depending on what your personal stuff is. If you gotta be home every day, I would suggest working down the port to start off. But if you really want to make money and be home every day with your own truck, do fuel. Fuel drivers still making $7,000 a week, and they local. It's night work, and that's the fumes and shit get in you. See when you pull, so you're gonna be smelling like it. But you can still make that $5,000-7,000 a week as an owner operator, and you're only paying bobtail insurance, which is only a couple $100. Yes, sir. All right, thank you. Which is only a couple $100, and it's local lure. So you probably only spend $1,000, $1,500 a week in fuel. You're gonna need a low top truck though, a day cab preferably, and that's a good old boy network. So once upon a time, this was the old biker sport. Wasn't a whole lot of black people in it. Then we got in it as drivers, then started becoming owner operators, then getting authority, then you saw laws start changing and stuff, right? And now what's happening is more females getting into it. There's a lot of dudes, I say, is bums. A lot of people just rather get high, and it's not even the same weed we were smoking. That's why their motivation is gone. That shit's so strong, it don't make you want to do nothing but go to sleep. And they don't even know that shit is laced with a mild trace amount of fentanyl or something of it. It's a police report out there. They did an experiment and went around and did some controlled buys. Why you think we used to get high, and this comes from something, I used to sell pounds of weed and all type of other stuff as well. I reached a certain level in that underworld by the time I was 17. I was taking trips to New York and all that stuff. But just on the reefer side, not even talking about crack and heroin and all this stuff. This comes from somebody that used to literally smoke a pound of weed. It take a month. It's 32 half ounces in a pound. You smoke a half ounce a day. We would get high, get the munchies, want to go out, do shit. They don't want to do nothing. Right, because biggest problem in our community is drugs. Not even necessarily the selling and people killing each other, but more so the usage. Because people not even in the race to make money no more. They're in the race to get something so you can get high. And a lot of that shit is downers. It don't make you want to do nothing. So unless you don't have it, then you trying to jump out there. A lot of these people popping pills, they just, I call it the rebirth of the onk. Remember we used to see old heads call them onk? They don't understand that that shit is actually just heroin in a pill form. So when crack first came out, it was a party drug. Then 5 years later, people were skinny, strung out. Wait till you see these kids in a few years. And it's a slow progress. I remember when I was probably like 13, 14, I used to sneak out, go out Park Heights and Rice and Home. And old head out there, real slick, you know, slacks, all that shit, gators. He was the big boy in the neighborhood. He was getting high. Y'all that been around for a while, y'all remember when them old slick willies, they was getting all the money, but they was getting high. You couldn't see it because the money was masking it. And then when they fell off in the game, then you saying, bang, he a full-blown addict. I'm saying. So that's what's happening. People need to stop using drugs. Where was I at before that? We kind of going around. Anybody got? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was just asking you a question about getting the authority, whether it's regional or local, to be working.
If you got a family and you can't afford, like my brother worked with him. Kevin worked down Big Boys. He got a big family. He can't afford to go on the road like me. Not money-wise, but time-wise. He's married, all that. Work at the port, it's not going to be as much money, but it's going to it's gonna be better than any job out here. And if you really trying to go for the gusto, get in the field. Work if you can work nights, get in the field, and oh yeah, that's why I was at. It's a good old boy network. So that's when I got into the white people, the bikers, females getting in it. It's a hierarchy in it, and a lot of them guys, they've been down there 20, 30 years. Things are changing from what I hear, but you're gonna have to when you gonna have to get into that system and always be available and make the most of it, because you ain't gonna get the same lows they get, but you still gonna fall in there.
I was about to say that because, like I told you, I've been in a few industries for like 2-3 years now.
Right.
So I'm getting the ins and the outs of it. I think I asked you before, was it worth it to stay in it? Because I remember you was talking about the authority. You told me just to stay in it and
Yeah.
I told you the company I was with Carol, and he was like, he told me about that.
My man Jarrell worked down there.
Yeah.
Jarrell, I think his last name Jackson.
I probably know him if I see it.
Dark skin dude, but what they paying y'all, like $30 an hour, 35? Not to get in your
Yeah. It's something
personal business. What you need to do, don't pay no bills for 3 months.
What you mean, don't pay no bill?
Don't pay none. Don't pay no bills. Creditors have a billing cycle. So you miss one payment, that's not going to get you evicted. That's not going to cut your credit card off. It's not going to get your car repossessed. Give yourself 90 days and save every dollar you got and buy a truck. Lease it on to them, and the money you'll be able to make within the first 2 weeks, you can pay all that stuff back.
That's what I did.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? It's what I start off saying, sacrifice.
Yeah.
So
You gotta do what you gotta do to get ahead.
right, and so not to keep bringing up biblical references, but what it say in the borrower is slave to the lender? Yeah. How many people you know been working all their life don't do shit but go to work and pay bills?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck them bills, man. You get your truck, you be able to buy whatever you want to buy. Be honest with you. And back to what I was talking about, company drivers. A lot of people complain about driving right now because they owners and they had this high cost of living. So a lot of people losing trucks. Or they went against my advice when I started buying trucks, thought they was going to have all these drivers, and they got a revolving door. Right now is the best time for drivers because companies are paying more to company drivers now. You know, FedEx will pay $45 an hour, and you get time and a half at 8 hours a day. Once you're in there for the 4th year, going into that 5th year. I got my nephew a job paying $90-something thousand a year. He only like 23. I got a cousin right now delivering food. He doing like $2,600, $2,800 a week. Food industry is a top payer as well as a company driver because that stuff had to go out. But it's hard labor and it's night work. So you're going to have to you open the door, it's flush. You got to touch every last box. A lot of people tap out. But you can make some bread doing that. I don't suggest doing it for real long unless you're just trying to stay in shape. But fuel, I would stay there. Right now is the best time to buy trucks as people losing them. Remember when rates was real high? You couldn't even, that's another thing. People went out and bought all these overpriced trucks. Rates was high, so people was buying trucks. What I teach y'all earlier, in the earlier seminar, supply and demand. The less of something you have, the more it's worth. So these $20,000 trucks was going for $70,000, $80,000. And they stuck with them. Now they got regular rates with inflated truck prices. Now, what I teach y'all about cycles, rates went back to normal, people losing trucks. It created a high supply of repos. So trucks are cheap now. So 10 grand to get you in the game. That was the rule of thumb in the beginning. I started in 2010. I came home August 31st, 2010. I started school 30 days later. Back then the rule of thumb was 10,000. 10 to get you in the game. So would they pay you? You can do it in less than 90 days. I'm being generous. I did it in 60. I've been through 19, 20 trucks. It ain't always been good. I got hit by a fire truck before lost everything, and then the city, Atlanta, they said they was under cyber hostage. So they prolonged, and they never wound up paying me out. Because then they said it's a state facility or unit or whatever you call it, saying you can't sue the state. So I couldn't get my money from the fire department. I was living in the loft down in Dallas. I went and worked for these Indians, East Indians, who was real good to me, by the way. They was paying me $13.50 a week. I lived in that truck for 2 months, and then went and started my authority. And within the next 3 months, I saved up like $24,000. Then I started buying 2 trucks and 2 trailers every other month, and I did that for 9 months. So I got like 7 trucks, and then I signed for the 5 more trucks and trailers. At this point, I was paying so much and so frequent that I could get trucks on paper. I could just sign my name. I never went back and got the last 5. And this is why I'm telling y'all, don't go out there and get no bunch of trucks. Cause I went through the nonsense. How many of y'all know people that got multiple trucks? Are they crying?
I'm crying.
How many trucks you got?
I got 3.
You keep drivers in them all the time?
Oops.
See what I'm saying? And then they get in there and fuck your truck up. Then
They fix that shit.
And you still drive, don't you?
Yeah.
So you have a good week. Man, I done made $8,500. Then here he go $2,000.
Or he hit something, don't say nothing.
And he wanna get paid.
Right.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to save y'all the headache, because you're gonna get in the hamster wheel where it's all this money. One time I was doing like $130,000 a month. I know people right now that had 30 trailers, and y'all only see what y'all see and what I show y'all. Y'all don't see all the people that I deal with. I really got some serious influence aside from what I show y'all, and y'all see the cars in the yard full of trucks. Y'all don't see the $18,000 a month insurance payment. And only 4 of the trucks running. And all the other shit is just a money pit. And y'all don't see all the shit that be happening in the middle of the night neither, which I'm not gonna talk about. But there's more to trucking than just buying a truck and driving. So I don't suggest, you can do what you wanna do. What people do all the time, and then they calling me trying to get me to fix the problem, and you could have avoided it. Don't get no whole bunch of trucks. If anything, buy you a truck and buy you a spare.
Yeah,
Get you a day cab and sit it on ice. You don't have to insure it, and you don't have to tag it if it's paid for. Find you a yard to park it and check on that motherfucker, because people like to nip shit off of trucks. They ain't got a park, they'll start taking shit, and especially if it's left unattended for a long time and nobody see you coming to it. Get you a truck and get you a day cab. You don't need insurance, and you don't have to tag it. Why? Because if you go on the Maryland business portal, if your truck in the shop, you can transfer the tag online without going in there. Take the truck tag that's active, put it on the truck that's sitting, and depending on who your insurance company is, you can log in and add and take off trucks at will. So if you were Progressive or somebody, you can go online and add a truck or a driver or whatever without calling them, and then take your other truck off, because you don't want to get in a situation where you got months and months of insurance piling up. And that's another thing, take people out the game. They running, and then before you know it, they're 2 months behind in the insurance. Insurance canceled. The insurance is the boss of the trucking company, industry. They tell you whether you can haul freight. They tell you who you can hire. They tell you even if you can hire yourself. Matter of fact, if you ain't got no insurance, you don't have a trucking company. You have a truck. That's the difference between an owner-operator and having your own authority. It's 3 levels. Company driver, you drive for a company, you get paid by the hour, a percentage, or by the load. Owner-operator, you own the truck and you lease it onto a company. It's not your name on the side of it. And having your own authority. If you don't, the only difference between owner-operator and having your own authority is insurance. Once you get your truck, that's half the battle. So the thing to do is progressively start off as a driver, save your money, keep your cost of living low, buy you a truck, lease it onto a company, run extremely hard, real fast, save your money up, you got the truck, you leased on, you making $2,500, $3,000, maybe $3,500 a month if you doing like the port or something, or if you down there. If you get in with fuel, I would stay there. Just stay there because it really ain't nothing else gonna pay you like that.
Yeah, that's
But,
what I did.
yeah.
I was an owner operator for Petrol Express.
Yeah.
What they doing? 5,000, 7,000 a
I was
week?
making like on a good week, I was making like 4,500 a week,
Right.
and then probably like 600 would get taken away from me paying fuel.
Right. So you said 600. Remember earlier I said 1,500 a week in fuel,
Yeah.
which would mean you running twice as hard. Then you remember what I was saying
That
about
was
the
2 years ago though.
right,
The
but
fuel price.
But I'm agreeing with you. What I'm tapping into is the good old boy network. See, it's people that got choice loads.
Mm-hmm.
Some older white men,
Yeah.
and they pay is completely different. Like Carol Fuel was notorious for notorious. I've been in a lot of different states, so my accent is starting to change. Carol Fuel is notorious for being racist,
Yeah.
and that kind of go across the board. Some things are changing, but it ain't changed yet. So just be aware of that when you get in there, because there's some guys and you see them pickup trucks and they got them boats outside their house and all type of stuff. And
And Fleet Transit, they racist over there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all I wanted to do when I first started was fuel, because I thought because it was dangerous, you had to pay more. I put in so many applications, they sent me a letter back, told me to stop.
Man.
I was still in school. I was like, that's what I want to do. That's where the money at. But that stands true. But in all, if you bring home between $2,500 and $3,500 in your pocket a week, I'm not talking about gross. I'm talking about in your pocket. That's fine. Another thing, when I was talking about tough times in trucking, it's an illusion, y'all. Ain't trucking still king. There's no job gonna pay you better than you gonna make owning your own truck. A good job gonna pay you like $50,000 to $75,000 a year. If you got an excellent job, you might be in at 120, 150. Yeah, I mean, how long it take you to get up there? How many fucking degrees and shit you gotta go? You already went to school for fucking 12 years because you got kids and you going part-time. Then you get out of school, you gotta start at the base level and pay your dues. Then it's gonna take you 5 to 7 years to get up to them higher levels. There ain't nothing gonna pay you like trucking. Even as a company driver, Walmart paying drivers $120. It's people that got fucking IT degrees and all, went to school to do all type of shit. They ain't making but like 70, 80,000. So don't get it fucked up. Trucking is still king. Also, when Bill was in here, I was trying to be courteous and not keep cutting him off, but he was tapping into that depression thing and losing trucks and all that. Y'all gonna lose trucks. It happens. I lost my first set of trucks down the port. I was smashing them. Then I went and bought 2 trucks. I went in there, looked me dead in the eye. I said, what do you think you doing? Remember I was talking about the network? This. And I was 27 at the time. I should have been doing like 450-something thousand a year. And they slowed me up because I was moving too fast. And so the old heads told me in the beginning, don't put all your trucks at the same place. Don't put all your trucks leased on at the same company, because they start counting your money and they looking at you as a unit. And you gotta think of dispatching only making what, 40, 50,000, maybe 60 if they been with the company a long time. And you 30-something years old and you making X amount of hundred a year, that ain't looking good to them. Why? Because of human nature. It happened with your friends. When you start excelling and they not, a little bit of hate starting on it. Little jokes and snickers. All them jokes ain't jokes. People, human beings can't stand to see progress. Matter of fact, that's why they always talk about new level, new devil, and all this dumb shit. I ain't in the games, never have been, but some of y'all are. Every level, you gotta fight a new monster or whatever in order. It get more and more challenging. Y'all think this is easy for me? What I just told you, I slept in the car all week. I didn't even go home. I just got back from Chicago 4-something this morning. I drove straight, slept in the car across the street. It's a sacrifice. Y'all, all these seminars I host for y'all, every single time a major catastrophe happened to try to stop me from coming here to teach y'all. I don't talk about it because, for what? Solve the problem. But what I'm saying is, the more you try to achieve, there's going to be opposing forces.
Mm-hmm.
So we was just doing electrical testing techniques, and one of the principles of electricity is the protons and electrons. And the protons are positive, but the more protons you have, the electrons, which is negative, start to attract to it. And that's what creates the magnetic field and electricity. So as you start doing good, don't think it, what the Bible say, think it not strange. And don't think it's out of the way for all type of shit to start happening to you to try to get you to quit. And it's the winners that don't stop. There's a book I read called Think and Grow Rich, and it talk about 3 feet from gold. And people who quit when they right there. Anybody, time you see somebody that's super successful, they've been through a whole lot of shit. That's what build their skin so thick to be able to handle what they got now. And be able to troubleshoot and go through all the different issues like it ain't nothing, because they built up a tolerance. Like you said, you've been in the gym, work out. You know, the more weights you lift, the more tolerance you got for it. If you ain't out there, you ain't gonna be able to get out there with the big dogs. You know what I mean? People I know that went out and just because they had money and went and bought trucks and don't got them no more, they didn't build up from the beginning. That's why it's good to be a driver, own an operator, own authority, that you get to handle different levels of the game and be able to understand it more. And at a higher level, you need to start getting into this diagnostic stuff. I ain't promoting from them. I'm trying to tell y'all, you going out and getting newer trucks because you think an older truck gonna be breaking down and shit on you. That newer truck gonna cause you so many fucking problems. I had a newer truck. These trucks, damn near brand new, 100-something thousand miles on them. Got a square on the bumper. I thought that was where the tag go at. It's a fucking sensor. That shit is a space sensor. I didn't know. I was young in the game. And that shit sent me to the dealer so much before they came and told me what that shit was. I had a newer truck. That shit took 3 times to get home. That shit kept cutting off. And I'm running hard as shit, fucking flying out to fucking Indiana. Fucking cut down a little ass time, catching the grave time, no sleep for days. So what y'all going through now on your way up is gonna build your skin. Anybody got any questions or input? This ain't the Sean Show. We out here to help each other. Actually, I wish some of the guys that was here before, cause I'm really disappointed, cause this ain't supposed to be about me. I was bringing in people to come and talk to y'all because I wanted them to continue what I've been doing, and I see ain't nobody been reaching out and helping y'all since I done fell back. And it's supposed to continue on, and everybody's supposed to be a chain reaction where everybody is helping everybody, and that's the only way we're gonna get ahead, because we really behind y'all. Y'all think getting a truck and getting your authority is the end of the game? You ain't in the game. That's the water boy. I had conversations with people with 150 trucks. People selling 50 trucks at a time. Big boys. We ain't even on the radar. We so far behind and we worry about getting fresh. Priorities. Life in There, the book. Get the book, read it. Get it on Amazon or YouTube. Listen to it while you driving. Need to cut our cost of living down and reprioritize our life and start buying shit that's what's your boy saying, big baby boy, guns and butter. Yeah, that nigga funny. I wouldn't have took it very well him talking to me like that, because first of all, who the hell you think we talking to? But what he's saying was legit. Y'all know how many tools I done bought since the last time y'all done seen me? I spent thousands of dollars in tools. I got a whole everything somebody need for a shop. How y'all doing?
What you say the name of that book was?
Life in There. Like Millionaire, Life in There. Yeah. How y'all doing? I know you from somewhere.
Yeah, we did the music class back in 18.
What's up, short?
How you been?
Tell him how the baby.
Yeah.
What's up? Anybody got any questions? Huh?
I don't know if it's a question or not, but
Well, input. Like I said, this ain't the Sean Show.
yeah, I think the first seminar I came to you, I was coming to you before I even went to school.
You Gotti peoples, ain't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
He on his way up here. That's what we call it.
I remember.
But the second time I came to your seminar, I was getting ready to go to school. Since you had went missing, you know what I'm saying, out of the loop, went to school, got on, you know what I'm saying, company driver.
Before you go ahead, very important principle. Well, some of y'all don't know, one of my mentors is Pimpin' Ken out of Milwaukee, and I say game ain't given, it's spilt. That's why they talk about soaking up game. So let me spill something on you. I didn't go missing. I went focused.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people got a whole lot of fucking distractions in their life. Got all these people calling your phone. Got all this shit going on at home. Running this bullshit about we live together, we ain't together. You fucking noisy ass house. You need to quiet the fucking noise down and focus on what you're trying to do. That's how you get ahead. Some of y'all need to fucking cut y'all phone off. I went like probably about a month with no phone at all. It's a principle about the magnifying glass. The sun come down, it can heat you up. You take a magnifying glass, focus, you can set something on fire. If you focus, I'm telling you, I started the trucking company from losing everything in fucking 60 days as a company driver. So if you've been driving 3, 4, 5 years and you don't have a truck yet, I'm not blaming you. What I'm telling you is if you cut a whole bunch of shit out your life and focus, you can do the shit real fast and then get on to the good stuff. But cut is a temporary sacrifice.
Yeah, but that while you was focusing up, a lot of people, you know, they follow you. You know what I'm saying? They go by your guides. It become like a truck king Bob that we be looking for. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's a fallacy, because that's like if you go into a church or a mosque and now your whole life is revolved around the imam or the pastor.
Mm-hmm.
When you got the Bible sitting on your dresser.
True.
You using it as a piece of furniture.
Yeah.
People go to church now, they ain't read the Bible, just listen to what how you know he telling you was right.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, I try to provoke in y'all fucking initiative. How y'all think I learned all this shit? Well, nobody telling me shit. People don't wouldn't tell you nothing back then. I spent tens of thousands of dollars on my education. I'm trying to tell you. I made a whole lot of mistakes. Then people call, never even open the website. Ain't read none of the books to have a foundation. So what if something happened to me? That's another thing, you know, on the why. I know how this city is. I don't talk about it a lot because your words have power. You can't be so prosperous around these niggas. And the way our laws is set up, because I done lived in the South, you can open carry. You don't need no license. We don't even have a self-defense law. So what if something happened to me? Then that's an excuse to wither away. Not talking about you in particular, I'm saying in general. So it all boiled down to the individual. But go ahead.
Well,
and I appreciate people tuning in and being a part of that, but this is a sacrifice on my part. I don't even like being around people. I'm not even talkative. Mm-hmm. I like helping people. And I can't stop because it's a part of my personality. Mm-hmm. But this is a sacrifice for me doing this for y'all. I don't like being out in the forefront. Only pictures I'm used to taking and sending them to my cousins in Hagerstown and Cumberland and Eastern Shore and all these different places. Right. Matter of fact, when we was coming up, pictures wasn't even, that was frowned upon. Mm-hmm. See the police? I'm saying I did that to lure y'all into the game to change our life. Well, go ahead. And then also what I said about being disappointed. Y'all supposed to carry on. How many people are born in here that have trucks? Mm-hmm. You know? Yeah, but when we spoke the other day, a lot of them people was people that was calling me and didn't even have a truck. And then in 2-3 years got fleets. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, you know, but go ahead. Gotti was selling cars, wasn't he?
Yep, he was selling cars. He went from washing them, tinting them, selling
You know how
them.
many people I fucking consult with in prison? I still do a prison correspondence. And people get out, you know how many people in the feds got real money, sending it home, starting companies for their families and their cousins and stuff. This shit is not supposed to stop with me. It starts with me. So, alright, if you talking about religion, whether you believe in the Bible or not, let's say you do. What would have happened if when Jesus was crucified, or when the Prophet Muhammad left us? The whole show stopped. Then what, you gonna have people running around, lawlessness all over the place, pillaging, raping? This is a start. It's supposed to continue, and it all takes everybody. All of y'all, you have to come in person in order to be around people, because the real benefit to going to seminars and workshops and stuff is not the information. All the information is in books. I was just doing a 5-day training. Everything they taught us was in the information, but the people that I met there, people that have been on the shops 30, 40 years, the mechanical information that I got from the conversations, the phone numbers that I got, all of y'all should be seeing y'all throughout the city and be a brother and a sister to one another. It don't stop with me. It start with me.
Yeah.
I'm trying to inject my spirit into y'all so it can rub off. But go ahead.
Well, I think the last seminar that I've been to, you had Lee was at the seminar.
Yeah.
The last one. Me and Lee like this now. You know what I'm saying? I take all the truckers to him. The company I work for.
He's smart as hell too, ain't he?
Yeah.
Outside of mechanics, that
Yeah.
man brilliant.
Good dude. You know, so outside of that, you know, this one of the dispatchers for the company that I work for.
Right.
I even got her the company. I told her to start following me. You know what I'm saying? Because dispatchers are important. You know, I say dispatch is important because
If they in the company, not that shit they scammed y'all. They sold y'all. Look, they saw an opportunity to sell information, and they took advantage of people, human beings, internal wanting something for nothing. And they said, well, we got all y'all selling y'all truck information, but what about the people who don't have money to buy a truck? Oh yeah, you know you can start a dispatch company. You don't need no money, no trucks, no nothing. Give me $400, I'll teach you how to do it. Right. And then you sell that to 1,000 people, and then how much money you got off an ad that you even put $1,000 into? You see the game? Remember I was talking to y'all about earlier? That's why I don't be charging y'all, because I know what's up. And they say you're supposed to be the change you want to see. So that's why I'm here.
well, in this case, like the dispatchers be the ones we be in contact with all day. You know what I'm saying? You at this location when you're a company driver.
Yeah.
You know, and
Now let's make the distinction between the dispatchers. There are dispatchers that work for companies that are employees, like secretaries, that orchestrate the loads. Then there's the dispatcher that is independent, that wants to book loads for you, that own the trucking company and take a percentage. They're two different things. That's a scam. It can happen, but it's highly unlikely. Because nobody with a trucking company need a dispatcher. They already booking their own loads.
Right.
Oh, yeah, but basically I'm coming up. You know.
You got your license now since then.
Got my license. Been 3 months driving. You know, in my 3 months driving, I jumped straight in. You know, I ain't even want to go back home. When they gave me the opportunity to get in the sleeper, I told my wife I ain't coming back home. Like, you know, all night. Baby, I ain't coming back home no more. She did that. She didn't tell you, I don't go home. I sleep in the truck. You know what I'm saying? They got me to do the whole Eastern region.
That's sacrifice.
Yeah.
You got enough.
Boston, Connecticut, you know what I'm saying? All up and down the mountains and stuff like that.
Not to cut you off, you got enough experience to get your truck now.
That's what I'm in the makings of doing right now.
Yeah.
Doing right now, but it's also rubbing shoulders. You know, like I try to come here to rub shoulders with good people, you know, brokers. I try to always rub my shoulders. Like if I got somebody I'm close with, they got somebody good brokers that they're dealing with. Yo, talk to them. Let them know you got some people. You know what I'm saying? That's good. You know, speak on my behalf. I don't have no accidents. You know what I'm saying?
That's not gonna matter, but depending on what you trying to do, you gonna help your peoples out and stick with their company, or you gonna try to start your own? But not try to start.
Right now, so it's basically like I need to become owner operator because I can't do nothing being a company man but pay my bills. You know what I'm saying? I can't stack no bread.
You got kids?
I got kids that
live with you.
Right, you know what I'm saying? I'm on a mission. You like you say, you gotta sacrifice.
This is what I would suggest, and also I'm not married, so
I'm married.
right. But what I'm saying is, what I teach y'all, you can't, if you're gonna take advice from somebody, it has to be from somebody that has what you want or has been in your shoes and got where you trying to go. That's a program I'm going through now by Kevin Tritos. Who do you listen to? You don't listen to people that's doing what you're doing. You listen to people that got what you want or prove that they can get it or had it. So I'm not married, so I can't tell you how to carry it with your wife, and I wouldn't get personal anyway. But if I would say anything and you got the type of relationship where you can tell her you're gonna be gone for a few months, I would go to a real nice restaurant and have a talk and say, look, no, but you really gotta have a real serious plan. Say, look, this is what I'm about to do. And once this shit get right, then you ain't gotta do nothing no more. But for these next couple months, I need you to carry everything so I can get this truck. And if you're willing to do that, then after that, you ain't never gotta work no more.
I came up with a contingency plan. I started foster care. You know what I'm saying? Got 2 foster kids. So this is my whole thing. Foster kids bring in what, $4 grand a month for 2 kids.
Yeah, what you doing, chimes?
Huh?
What you doing, chimes?
State.
Yeah, my mother used to do it.
State and rest, you know. So my whole thing is, the foster kids. My wife stay there, take care of the kids. You know, she ain't working.
So in other words, the money is there, so she can do it.
She can do it.
Alright.
She told me she was gonna leave me. What, like 2 weeks ago? She was like, man, I want a divorce. I'm like, well, look, I can't. Right now, I'm trying to chase my dreams and do what I gotta do.
Right, so you see what I just said? So
Let it go.
remember what that's what I'm saying. Don't take my advice and then lose your wife and then you calling me.
Listen, if she
Cause
can't,
I
But
can't-
the wife ready to leave him.
Yeah,
So it's like,
if she
it's
can't
something
ride with
bad,
me,
like, why can't I leave? You
it's
ready
like
to
out
leave
to
me
the
already.
streets, and I had to stay out all day. You know what I'm saying? Come back in 2 o'clock in the morning, leave back out 6 o'clock. If she can't stay with me while I'm doing this, she gotta go.
She ain't respecting your grind.
Yeah, she gotta go.
Alright, well, I'm gonna let y'all ain't married men in here, y'all talk. Because that's what, in reality, when they talk about you take a village to raise a kid, but what's the opposite in the village? Elders. We don't need psychologists. We supposed to have trusted people that we can go and talk to, and people who are older. You know, people out here, you see all these people giving the relationship advice online, they ain't even got no damn body.
Yeah.
Because if you did, why you just spent all that money on your body to try to attract somebody?
But to be honest,
But what I'm getting at is older statesmen. So I want to hear what you say, because you've been married, you're a senior man. A lot of us never had fathers, and we was all raising each other, 14, 15, and we figuring life out. What's missing is the fathers and the grandfathers. So he been married, and we talk about big signifies wisdom. Let's hear what you guys say, and your wife is here, so she gonna put you out there if you tell me something wrong.
I got those.
All right.
My name is Anthony Corprew, and I'm the owner of P. Corprew Transport.
P. Core.
P. Corprew.